Hello everyone, this is Navola by Paolo Bacigalupi. This here, so last video I said this is my favorite book of the year so far. Well, this is a tie. This qualifies as a slower burn and a character study, but not so slow that it's uninteresting. It's really compelling all the way through, and especially about this this whole last bit here, which sometimes when I have to work through the week and I find time to read, and come today, Monday, I finish off if I have not finished it off in order for me to make a video. And sometimes I got to push a little harder and take some breaks. Not that, you know, a given book is uninteresting. It's just, you know, I'm kind of tired. It's supposed to be my day off, and I got to force things a little bit. I didn't have to force the thing. I couldn't put this down this morning after I was, got up and got ready and got going. So this is a very, I guess you could say, Italian, Roman, Latin environment. A lot of vocabulary that is, frankly, kind of hard to pronounce in places, but happily it never is so hard to get over that I can't understand what I'm reading. It's just some hard to pronounce stuff. So Davico here is our narrator. He's telling his story, and he lives in the city of Navola, and he is going to inherit the kingdom, but the kingdom is one of manipulation. His father isn't the ruler of the, well, technically he is the ruler of the city, but there is an actual ruler of the city, an official, but that official answers to the father. But the father isn't, I don't know how to explain this. There's something both Godfather and not Godfather about him. He lives in a world where he basically, it's more about handing out money, handing out secrets. If anything, he's sort of like a CIA, the head of the CIA or something like that. But he's not, I didn't get any sense that he was an evil man of any sort through this. That's what I was expecting. But no, but he does manipulate, and literally manipulates everyone, and does so without each one of those people realizing that they are being manipulated, that they are card to be played and dispensed with if necessary, but it's not a cold-hearted murder sort of thing. There is a scene, but where, we loaned out to someone, took him in as an ally, and then they reneged, and we went and took care of business. I don't know, it's an old fantasy setting, not a modern day thing where you go through those kind of trials. So it was still hard to call the man an evil man, but he is a manipulator. I don't even know if I got a sense that he was a narcissist, but he was in control. He has power. I guess you could call him corrupt if you want to call him corrupt, but he's just sitting in the middle of the web and pulling the strings and handing out the money and taking care of information. So he wants his son eventually to take over. His son has many mentors, not just his father, but then there's the killer guy, is his father's right-hand man. Okay, we got to take care of business there. A mentor of politics, a mentor of their environment. He is schooled in part by someone who's a physician, a doctor, and so they go out to the woods and he learns, woodcraft and things like that. And so Davico, he's in the middle of this, but this is not him. This is not for him. He almost wants to go be a doctor, but his father just underscores him, and he realizes he just cannot escape this, though he does try. And there's the sister, this adopted sister. There's part of this that there's nothing technically incestual going on between this brother and sister. They're not really brother and sister, but he loves her. This has been his companion since they were younger, not real young, but was it preteens? I think, yeah, and then into a much more grown individual, and she becomes his world in one way or another. But there's too much. The reason I laugh about it is because still, when they're trying to get together and they're in love, they keep throwing the words at each other, brother, sister. Don't. But they aren't technically blood related. But still, it was just yeah. But great character named Celia, and she's an enigma. You don't see her coming, and I got to dance around this a little bit. So there is betrayals left and right in this. Everybody's waiting to stab each other in the back, and unfortunately, DeVico, it's like he is the recipient of the punishment of the sins of everyone. We gotcha. Or it really read like bullies who, even in triumph, I still need to punish something. Let me find something weak, and I'm going to do it. There's any number of in the Dune, the Emperor responds, I killed your father because he was too nice, and so DeVico is the nice one, and he's going to receive it all just comes down on his head. So here we have this dragon eye, and for some reason, I guess because it's this big on the cover, I figured it would just be this thing you could hold in your hand. Well, it's about the size of a human head, and I did some quick scaling because once I tried to scale Smaug from Lord of the Rings out of the movies and see how big it was, because you can get still pictures of that eye coming up out of the gold, and then seeing a hobbit next to it and looking at the coins, and I looked it all over. I thought I can scale this up. And turns out I was right, because I came up with a guess of something like around a Smaug should be something like 140 feet tall, 140 feet long, and something close to 175-foot wingspan. And it turns out they scaled him to just about that. He appears much larger in the film than that, but so the scale changes a little. That happens a lot in CGI type stuff. But the point was, maybe from a hobbit's point of view, who's about half my height, then now you're talking about something that to me would seem like it's 280 feet long. And in this, I thought, okay, so this described the size of a human head, and Smaug's eye was about twice that. And so you're probably looking at a dragon that was 70, 80 feet long, 100-foot wingspan, something like Vermithrax, a little smaller in that realm. Now, what happens is that DeVico has an affinity, a connection to this. No one else has it. And it's like almost a mind melding. So when he's touched it, he starts experiencing what it is to fly, to eat something that's just raw and bloody. And it's an extremely powerful magic. The 99% of this book, no magic. It lets you know you're in a fantasy land because there's a map you've never seen before. And they mention things like, I think I saw a shadow panther, and we know about six-legged lions and things like that. But it's definitely a no or low magic environment. But the relic, this dragon eye, represents a much, much, much more powerful magic waiting to be used. It hungers. But he's the only one who seems to use it, and it doesn't work all the time every time he touches it. So when everything comes down on his head, he can't just say, oh, it would be predictable if, well, I'm in a predicament, let me get this dragon eye right now and save himself. No, there are horrors to be experienced by DeVico when everything comes together. And it's not like you almost wonder, maybe he should have been flayed alive and killed and that would have gotten over with. Nope. We have a dungeon stay filled with some rather, it's just a horrifying experience. And of course it does change him. And then his connection to the dragon eye becomes the crux of it. I wondered, I only found one mention of there being a sequel, and it was just a brief one, and it didn't seem like much of a of a source, but when this ends, it's like, oh, yeah, there's going to be more. So good. It's just one of those nice little. Thank you, boy. No, of course it didn't. But there it is. And just a stunning and compelling read, really. I thoroughly enjoyed this a lot. So my contenders right now for top 10, along with Dresden and The Faith of Beasts. Good book. Just damn good book. So next, I'm kind of at the end of my TBR. There's some books floating around here I haven't gotten around to, but I'm not sure I want to read them just yet. But right now we have Grace Curtis, Idle Fire, Two Strangers, One Epic Journey. On one side of the world, Alea Ana Ulai is desperate for a chance. Her family has written her off as a mistake, but she's determined to prove every last one of them wrong. On the other, Kirby of Wall's End is searching for redemption. An ancient curse tore her life apart, but to fix it, she'll have to leave everything behind. Fate sets them both on a path to Navola, a city once poised to conquer the world with the power of 1,000 stolen gods. Now the gates are closed and the old magic slumbers, dead or waiting for a spark to light anew. Curtis brings her trademark nuance and heart to this latest adventure, where an unlikely slow burn romance gently unfurls on a long and treacherous road. I hope it's not a sequel. That almost sounds like it's a sequel. I picked it up because just reading the first page just had a lot of attitude with it. So I was like, this is going to be fun. So that is next week. Excellent reading. Well done, Paolo. Well done. And this will be it next week. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.